Since losing their in-game leader, Optic has only been able to make one playoff appearance in 2017. That was at IEM Sydney, and that even in and of itself has been gone a while. That's been a while ago, and right now I think as a organization they should assess their team, and as the players they should be assessing their team and looking for their options, because I don't see this lineup staying together. I don't think it should stay together, and most importantly, if they were to split up, what would happen? So first off, I think I'm going to do a little comparison of them to CLG from 2016, heading right into 2016. Now, CLG was actually doing pretty decent. They went to the major and got out of the playoffs, right? They got out of They went out, got out of groups, and that was the lineup of Fugly, Tarek, FNS. FNS was not on that lineup. That was Tarek, JDM, Hazed, Cutler, and Fugly. That lineup I would compare to the lineup of Optic right now. JDM and Mixwell, slightly comparable, not the same play styles, but they're both the oppers, so I mean, lump them in. And I believe they are in each team they were the star carry and trying to do stuff. And teams are probably looking at Mixwell as teams were probably looking at JDM back in the time. Tarek is, I guess, Tarek and somewhat. Obviously he's Tarek, but like in comparing him, Hazed is also playing on this Optic roster too. Nafly I would compare to more of Fugly, and then Rush I would compare to Hazed, and Hazed I would compare to Cutler. And so I think this Optic team has run its course. It needs to break up. It needs to disband. And looking at that, you want to think, well, looking at that, you want to think, where could the players go? So I think the three players that you're obviously going to look at are Tarek, Rush, and Mixwell. I think Hazed and Nafly, I don't think as much is going to blow people away. Now, Nafly does seem to have some talent, but I've heard he's been cocky and a hard teammate to work with, so I don't know if he would fit in anywhere. Now, Ethan on CLG, the CLG of today of FNS, Ricky, Kusta, Cutler, and Ethan, that CLG, I think that CLG has two options right now, two paths that could decide that roster. Either Ethan goes insane and becomes a good player and can fit into that third role, and it fits all the fragging distribution and aligned, and it makes sense. Or they cut Ethan for somebody better. Now, Ethan plays somewhat of more of an aggressive role, and so somebody that could replace him could be somebody like a Rush or a Tarek, and they've proven they can have firepower. I think Rush might actually be a really good addition because he's somewhat somewhat supportive in the way he entries. He's not like, he doesn't need like so much put on him, and I think somebody like an FNS could fill the shoes that Stanislaw was and made Rush so effective. Now, Mixwell, where could he go? He could potentially go to Mouse Sports. Now, I don't know exactly if he plays that second in role, but he is more of an aggressive player, and he can use the rifle as well as the op. Now, they already have two of those players, but if you replaced Dennis with Mixwell and you made Chris J like the entry in-game leader, and then put Mixwell right behind Chris J, that might work. Now, if Tarek was cut, I mean, not cut, but let's say they just disband, where would he go? Honestly, it'd be somewhat slim pickings, especially if I'm CLG. I get Rush over Tarek because of just the way he plays and whatnot, and how, like, I think Rush was one of the more better players, maybe even better than Tarek. Tarek could go to Cloud9, but his role is already being used, and Cloud9 isn't really willing to make a change. Like, they could, but I don't think they will, is the thing. So something as crazy as like Misfits, that'd be really scary, or NRG. So if this disbands, I think Tarek is actually in for a lot of trouble. Nafly, where he could go, he could play like that lurkish supportive role on Cloud9 if Cloud9 pick him up. If not, if I were him, I would go with Tarek as a package deal. Be like, okay, hey, we need to stick together. If we can maybe go with Sean Gares, because I think Nafly and Daps had some like issue, some friction, whatnot. Yeah, so all of this is trying to say is Optic are one bad tournament from breaking away, and it could have massive effect on the NA scene. If they broke up, Mixwell would leave. Tarek and Nafly might go to a different team. Rush could go to CLG, and Nafly could just go to C9. So it would have massive implications on the NA scene if Optic don't qualify for the major, is the main deal. If they don't qualify for the major, I think they break up and they end it. And I think if that does happen, people won't be saying the team name Optic in NA at all in 6 months if they don't qualify for the major.